Hi, I'm Maddi, and I start medical school in 8 days. 8 days. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I just kind of want to, I don't know, reflect on part of my journey and how I got to this point a little bit. And then just kind of like honestly, candidly talk about how I'm feeling as I have only 8 days before I start um, med school, which has been a dream that I've had since I was maybe like 7 years old, that I would be, you know, a doctor. And now I'm finally here, and it's kind of crazy. Also, I don't think I realized how much free time I would have right before starting school and the transition from moving here. So I moved out. I moved across the country, mind you. I'm from the East Coast, and I moved all the way to the Midwest for medical school. And I moved out about 2 weeks early. So my parents stayed for a week to like help move me in, get into this place, this my beautiful apartment, which I'm super excited about. But now I'm just kind of like hanging out because I still have quite a bit of time before school starts. So I've like, met some people like that are in my class, like, people I've met through like the Facebook group chats and Instagram and like just through social media, which has really been really great. And I have like a little like dinner today with some of the girls in my class, which is nice, but that's not until 6 p.m. So most of my days I've literally just been kind of like going on walks, going to the gym that's in my apartment. There's been some crazy thunderstorms, so I haven't really gotten to the pool, but like, like maybe today I have a pool in my apartment, which is crazy. Yeah, so like, I don't know. I just am making, I guess, a video because it'll be nice for me to like reflect on how far I've come and bring that with me when I start school. Like, look, I did this, like I'm here. I'm finally here. I did this. I just want to like enjoy it, enjoy the free time that I have because it's fleeting, and like not sit here worried too much about like, I don't know. I don't want to be in a place where I'm starting like already like, oh, how am I going to study? How am I going to do this? Like, I just kind of want to like go with it as it comes. And I'm just really trying to embrace the boredom right now. And I'm very privileged to say that I am bored waiting to start my dream job of being a med student. So I've just really been kind of embracing that space, even though I know that for me and probably for many pre-meds who are in this same situation waiting for their school to start, that we want to be busy and like get into that routine, but I'm not gonna rush it. I'm not gonna rush it because I will be wanting this time back. So I'm just literally getting settled, and that's it. And it's been really nice. Yeah, I have a lot of great memories from my time from graduating with a degree in cell biology to my actual matriculation into med school. I took 2 gap years. During that time, I worked in a neuroscience lab. That was like kind of an intense job, especially with taking the MCAT twice while working full time, and many students do it, but it is not easy. So I was really excited when I got all of my applications in, my tests were over, and I could really just embrace just handling work and kind of doing exciting things on the weekend again. A lot of your life does get put on hold for applying to medical school, and it's just kind of one of those things that you just have to get through, unfortunately. Yeah. So I'm excited to be in the position that I am in now, for sure. I don't wish the application cycle on anyone, unless they really want it. I think you have to figure out if you really want it, and if making all these sacrifices is worth it. And I think during my gap years, it really gave me the clarity to be like, yeah, this is exactly right. Like, I knew I wanted to be a doctor since I was 7 years old, but you know, things change. You don't have to want the same things that you wanted when you were 7 years old when you're in your 20s. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, you're a whole different person at this point. So I think it was kind of like, as I was going through the thick of it, I was like, is this really what I want? And that's what gap years are for, you know? So I did take the time to think about it. Like, I can't do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. And my passion for medicine outweighed the pain of going through all of this application cycle. Like, it is definitely crazy, and I could not have anticipated that, even though I tried. You know, I watched so many videos like, oh, how do you do that? Like, it doesn't, you don't really get it until you're in the thick of it and you're like, oh, this is why it's so tough. Like, I really understand it now. So I'm really grateful to be on the other side of it. That being said, I also did find that I could have some balance. So I took 2 gap years, but it was really like an application year and then kind of like a gap year. And I think I was able to go on some trips. I was able to, take little adventures into New York City on the weekends because I lived in Connecticut during my gap years. And I also, like, I have to say the summer, the summer that I'm just ending right now, was one of the best summers I've ever had, because I stopped working in May and I really was like, I'm going to give myself the time, and I was really lucky that I could do that. So I moved back home. Home for me is the south coast of Massachusetts, so I literally just went to the beach all the time, had the best seafood, basically had so many people visit me, get to see almost all of my loved ones. Sometimes it's hard to get everybody in there in couple months, really. But I think for the most part, I did a pretty good job relaxing. I got a Kindle. I literally just turned my brain off and I said, you know what, this is the time for me to enjoy. And I got excited about school, like about the little things. Like, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get a watch, because like doctors have like watches and whatever. So I ended up saving up, and I got a watch to like bring with me. I was like, oh, I can take people's pulses like with my little watch. We'll see if that happens, but it's the little things that we get excited about. Like, I got a new computer and it was like the most exciting day ever. I'm using it to record this video right now. It's really cute. It's a pink iMac, so I'm really excited to be doing my little Anki cards with this computer and spending my time on it. I got my first couch. I had it shipped to my apartment here. That kind of stuff. Like, really just like building my life was the last, the summer right before med school, and also just really relaxing and just sleeping in every day. I really felt like I needed to recover my sleep debt, because when I was in my gap year, not my application year, I'll call it, I ended up getting a second job on top of the research I was doing, because I wanted to save money for the move. And one of my passions is coffee, and I was a barista on the weekends and nights. So sometimes the coffee shop would be open really late. We had a lot of events and things like that, so I would not get home till like 2-3 a.m. on top of having a full work day, and that was really a lot. So I was ready to recover my sleep debt, but I ultimately wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, I loved being barista. That was my first job in high school, was being a barista. I'm obsessed. So maybe I'll make more coffee content to come, I guess. I just bought like an espresso machine for my apartment. So, yeah, I don't know. It's one of my hobbies that I like to keep, I guess. Yeah, so in summary, I think I just really prioritized doing the things that like would make me feel good and relaxed. So I do feel very refreshed, even though I did have an intense application cycle and MCAT and job and everything else, I do feel really relaxed. So I think that's a good thing. So yeah. So should we montage?